Hello, I am MS Akbar from College, Bhagalpur. Today in this video, I am going to teach you Pre-Raphaelite poetry. Here you should understand the title. It is word pre, that means before. Raphaelite word comes from a person who was a painter, Italian painter, Raphael. So pre-Raphaelite, that means before Raphael. Now the term is poetry, pre-Raphaelite poetry. It means poetry which is inspired by the painters who were before Raphael. Now understand another thing. Its period is Victorian age in England. Now see its historical background. In 1810, German painters who are Cornelius and Overbeck, they established German Pre-Raphaelite Brethren. What they established? They established these two painters, Cornelius and Overbeck, established German Pre-Raphaelite Brethren. Okay. Now they were inspired by Italian painters before Raphael. Okay. Now understand what were the features of the paintings and the painters before Raphael. You see, painting before Raphael had depth, sweetness, sincerity of devotional feelings, a self-forgetfulness and humbleness, which all these qualities were lacking in Raphael and his followers. Okay, so these were the some important features of the painters before Raphael. Now following them, following Cornelius Overbeck, following Pre-Raphaelite, German Pre-Raphaelite brethren in England. Okay, in England, a group of painter poets. Remember here the word group of painter who were as well as poets, painter poets, D.Z. Rossetti, John Everett and Holman Hunt. They founded a similar society in 1848 which is called Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. This was established in England by D.Z. Rossetti, John Everett and Holman Hunt. They were painter poets, remember. Okay. Now see the other poets of this school in England, in English, they are Christina Rossetti, Swinburne and William Morris. They are some important figures, important poets of this type of school, Pre-Raphaelite poetry. Okay. Now see the characteristics of this kind of poetry. What they wrote, they wrote highly sensuous and pictorial type of poetry. Okay, since they were painters, so as the painter paints every minute things and everything which can give a kind of idea what sort of painting is. So even in their poetry all these things, all the traits and the manners, the ideals which is used to paint a picture, these things were highly cleared in their poetry. Okay, so they wrote highly sensuous type of poetry as well as pictorial. Their poems were also symbolic because symbols are used to paint, okay, in painting. So the poetry of Pre-Raphaelite school is pictorial and symbolic. Okay, which can be painted with equal effect, remember. Okay, now another thing is, so they were art for art's sakes. Okay, then they had pictorial effect as well as it is medieval load because the painting, the poetry is inspired by the Italian poets, before Raphael. That is a period, that is a medieval period. So we can find medieval manner, medieval lore in their painting, in their poetry, and they have a kind of musical effect their poetry has musical effect. So guys, Pre-Raphaelite poetry is inspired by the painter poets before Raphael, and in England it was started by Daisy Rossetti, and other poets are there, Christina Rossetti, Swinburne and William Morris. So it has some definite characteristics that they are pictorial type of poetry, they are symbolic, they are highly sensuous, and they are art for art's sake. So these things are there. Okay, thank you.